Hello ladies and gentlemen, Porkchop here, and today is the second part of 3 series looking into the design and pacing of the Uncharted games. The first episode, which covers the story, is linked in the description below if you wish to check it out now or after this video. I believe the hidden secret to the Uncharted series and Naughty Dog games in general is the design and pacing, making the flow from story, combat and traversal work in harmony with the design, making the combat segments or just the overall world more open and immersive than it really is. The best example of this would be of course Uncharted 2. The city of Nepal, looking so much more open you don't feel like you're just walking in a single street, but the atmosphere from the distant gunshots and the rubble blocking your way through some unique combat segments make it feel so much more of a living world. It's truly amazing how they just get into that so much detail and how long it takes for them to really pull it off. Now this represents the first 3 games. Uncharted 4 really doesn't make it an illusion, but the areas are really that massive and some even needing vehicles to get across. Having so much more variety in combat was needed to innovate the series, adding stealth, the rope swing and much of an improved AI system taken from The Last of Us really helped on that front. In most cases there is no golden path in that game, but the game slowly threads you to where you need to go. The world creates feels so much more dense with population, destruction and every detail handcrafted. The first time in a game I saw how much love went into it and took me by surprise with every bit of attention to detail.
Hey, you like that? Huh?
Nate, tower.
Sully, come on, it's a lemur. Come on, come say hi.
Now of course Uncharted is known for its blockbuster pacing, that's what made it where it is today. With a much longer story, however, Uncharted 4 wasn't able to make this a reality. They grounded the game more, and having a slower pace, with some say too slow, was off-putting. The only time I questioned this was chapter 12 to 14, where you're searching for Libertalia before the story really picks up again. It was still enjoyable by every means, just made me cautious that there wasn't enough combat during these areas compared to the previous 3 games. I was always a fan of the first few hours though, loving the story and back history being given to Nate. Now taking it back a few years, Uncharted 1 being the first, a lot of tech and ideas weren't inputted. The design was very simple, even though it kept the same goal of this non-stop adventure and never hit the heights of Uncharted 2. Uncharted 3 on the other hand, especially with the first half of the game, felt so off for me. The pacing felt so slow and combat engagement lacking in design needed to make them fun rather than gun-hosing through enemies in such a tight space. It really threw me off. Saying that the gameplay itself, mechanic wise, was not the same with Uncharted 2 and 1. They had more realistic guns and it felt less arcadey of what Uncharted 3 did, and thankfully Uncharted 4 went back to that. I felt Uncharted 3 was more of a sideways step rather than going forward. They wanted to change a lot of design and mechanics that really worked in Uncharted 2, however when it came to Uncharted 3 it just didn't live up to those expectations, unfortunately. On the other hand, Uncharted 2, which I believe today with its 10ish hour story is the best paced game I have ever played. When it was released 7 years ago now, it really broke the barrier of what a game could achieve and is a classic for sure. The flow with non-stop action to its infamous train sequence connecting both halves of the game together really is a treat to still play today. The design hinted at what Uncharted 4 would become, with its stealth being a small addition to the game, even having a heist mission at the start of the game fully embracing it. Having more openness to the combat was so nice, and not just getting the feeling you're walking into a kill box, but it moves the story forward. And that is one insane thing to do for a game, especially for a 2009 title. And I still cannot believe how well the game flows beat to beat, for being with the shorter game compared to Uncharted 4, giving a lot more Uncharted feel and having no pacing issues, and that's why I still played so much for today's gaming standards.
You think I didn't know about the ships from the beginning? Any schoolboy could have figured that out.
Flynn, listen.
Face it, genius. You've been played.
That's the reason I give Uncharted 2 the best design and pacing out of the 4 of them. But saying that, when looking back over the series and playing the remastered version, I forgot how well crafted these experiences were. from Uncharted 1 connected the islands together, which you can visually see. Once Uncharted 3's pacing starts speeding up, and once the boat set piece, you really get the high adventure you always expect from Uncharted games. Then with Uncharted 4's sheer scale is something to behold. Having no limits and there being no illusion like the first three, it just couldn't live up to the killer pacing, however, of Uncharted 2.
You don't even know what it's called.
I don't need to know what it's called. I've seen you play. It's
Right.
jumping and running, and I have a natural talent for
Oh,
that.
really?
So, what do you say, chicken? Is it a bet?
Oh, wow. Okay, cowboy.
But anyway guys, thank you very much for watching, even though this was a bit of a shorter one of the second part of the 3 series, with one each weekend. If you enjoy my content, sharing it around is very much appreciated, and you can also watch the first episode here, watching about the story, and then also here's my fan-made trailer of Uncharted 4 just before it came out. Anyway guys, I'll see you next time.